What's up, everybody? Welcome to Buzzworthy TV. And I'm your girl, Lady T. And today, we are going to talk love and hip-hop Hollywood, y'all. Man, y'all, Mona gave us so much to deal with. I had to take notes. I just couldn't. It was just way too much. As my girl Tamar say, team too much, okay? But I loved it. It was so much mess. Okay, y'all, let's get into it. All right. So, the episode picks back up at Chris's birthday party. You know, Mimi and Stone Chris's party to introduce Chris as her new boo or whatever. And so, Tiara, no, not Tiara. Is it Tiara? Yeah, it is Tiara. Sorry. Tiara, whatever. So Tiara walks in and Carly with her messy ass like, oh shit! Did you just see who walked in? And I'm like, nah, bitch. You knew Mona had this set up. Come on now. And you invited her here. Don't act surprised. But however the case, Tiara comes in there and she sits with the ladies. And somehow or another they get to talking about her, what she do for a living. You know, she says that she is she's a bottle girl 2 nights a week, but she really works for, one of the biggest financial corporations in the world. And shout out to my girl, I think it's Rox, who said basically, y'all, she's a bank teller. Like, she works for, like, Bank of America, Chase, Comerica Bank, and she's a bank teller. That's the only reason why you could explain why, you got the well, no, because I got jobs, too, I'm like Phaedra, I got jobs. But the way she making it sound like she this big corporate exec, you would think you would have to, work at the club 2 nights a week. That's all I'm saying. Ain't nothing wrong with having multiple avenues or whatever. But anyway, so Tommy gets in and was like, so when you see your kids, why you doing all that? And at first here, she kind of ignores her, and Tommy brings it up again, so where your kids be at? And she was like, well, who are you and what do you know about me and my kids? She was like, I know your kids, and I know your baby daddy too. She was like, what? And she was like, yeah, I be on, I sit on his dick like every other night. I was like, oh my goodness, here we go. Here we go, y'all. So, all of a sudden they start scrapping. Tommy throws a drink or whatever, and they just start going at it. The security got to break them up, and I'm like, wow. Y'all doing too much. Y'all two grown-ass women don't know how to act in a public establishment. Let me stop. So then, after that, we see Tiara. She goes to see Scrap at the studio. Hold on, y'all. Trying to check this time out. Okay. All right. So she goes to see Scrap at the studio. And Scrap, he in the studio, Sass is working on this whack-ass song. I mean, I guess it's not really whack. It just sounds all the same. What's up with this music just sounding the same all the time? But anyway, so she's in the studio with Scrap, and she tells him, like, I ran into this bitch, Tommy, and I had to beat her ass. And I'm like, okay. I hope you really did beat her ass, and the sprained wrist and the broken finger came from you hitting her and beat her ass, than her beating your ass, and you just trying to play it off. Because let me tell y'all, she had her arm, she had her wrist all wrapped up, her finger in the sling. I'm like, damn. So anyway, Scrap at first was trying to play it off, but he finally admits, like, yeah, I've been talking to her, whatever. And so Tiara's like, for how long? And he like, man, for about a year, but it ain't nothing. I'm like, you been talking for this chick for a year, and it ain't nothing. Man, get the heck up out of here. So, her whole thing is, nigga, you better fix this. And he was like, well, how you want me to fix it? She was like, I want you to let her know about me and where we stand, and I want to be there. or trust and believe you won't see your son. Now that's the only thing I didn't like about Tier. Tier, how the hell you gonna keep him away from his son because y'all got beef? Because he done screwed around on you. The son don't got nothing to do with that. He's been a father to not only y'all kid, but to your other kids. So don't do that to that man. But anyway, moving on from that, we got Rashida and Kurt. They had to come up with this elaborate story why they all crept up into, this kind of that Kurt rented last season. And basically, they working on this house. It went over budget, and the other house is on the market, but ain't nobody buying that shit. So they in the condo, and they talk about Mama D and, and Scrappy. And Kurt thinks that Scrappy sent Mama D to act up at, Rashida's store. So he gonna go see Scrappy and see what the hell is going on. So then, hold on, y'all. Shoot. Okay. All right. So then we got Scrappy and Jock. They at this radio station, and they really weren't talking about that. Basically, they got this new venture coming. Scrappy really wants to move into this modeling management thing. And I'm like, are you really just trying to glorify, like, pimping out these Instagram models or whatever? That's what it seems like to me. It seems like you find a whole nother way to split these Instagram models. But anyway, and he want Young Jock to be a part of it. Anyway, then we got Chris, Mimi, and Ariane. They helping Mimi move into her new house. And I'm like, these the movingest people I've ever seen. So anyway, they sitting up there, they talking, they unpacking, and Ariane is like, I'm happy for y'all, and she basically, asking Chris all these questions, and Ariane asks Mimi, like, so how does it feel to be, out as a lesbian? And Mimi's like, I am not a lesbian, Basically, she like what she like, and she don't want to be defined by a label. And even Chris jumps in. It's like, she is not a lesbian. I'm not a girl. And Chris was dead serious. Chris was like, I am not a girl. And Ariane's just looking like confused, like what? What you mean you're not a girl? And basically, as Chris explained in her confessional, like, she feels, in all intents and purposes, like a boy. She was just born in a woman's body. And so, to them, they don't seem like they're in a lesbian relationship. They're not two women screwing. And I'm like, I guess, to each his own. I'm not here to judge or be like, what the hell you mean? Because if that's how you feel, if you feel in your core that you, a young man inside of a woman's body, hey, do you. However the case. I know how a lot of people can be like, well, how y'all not in a lesbian relationship? Don't y'all both got, two cootie cats and y'all both have breasts and all that? But no. She can still just feel like she's a man inside of a woman's body. But she just don't want to go ahead and go through all the transformation, like hormones and all that. So like I said, to each his own. And then we got this fashion show where Tammy, Mimi, I think Rashida, they all at this fashion show. And, that's where we get introduced to D. Smith and Betty Idle. Now, D. Smith is this producer. He used to be Daryl Smith. And like I said, world-renowned producer, worked from everybody from Lil Wayne to Kanye West. His name was out there. And, D. Smith was walking in the show, and Bambi was in the show, whatever. And, Tammy is really impressed by D. Smith. She like, I really want to work with her. I could really use her, to help me with my new line. Tammy has this new clothing line called, T. Rivera. And so, after that, after the fashion show, we get to Betty and D. Smith talking. D. Smith tells Betty that, Tammy want to work with her. And, Betty was like, yeah, well, I didn't go over there because, her husband, Waka Flocka, he did an interview which was very homophobic. And, D. Smith is just taking it all in, like, really? And she's like, yeah, so I really don't mess with her. And I'm like, that's what her husband did. That, and she went on the radio, talking crazy. But however, whatever. Then we got KK and Tommy. So Tommy goes to see KK to let KK know about what happened when she met up with Tierra and all of them. And basically she said, she let it be known that, hey, I'm Scrap's girl, and they got to fighting or whatever. And basically Tierra is like, Tommy, these T's, y'all. Tommy is like, I'm done, and I don't got nothing to say to him. He been blowing up my phone. And KK is really trying to push them together, y'all. I'm like, really? Like, your son ain't no good. And he don't plan on being no good. Like, he ain't planning to fix this situation. He done made it be known. He like fucking Tommy, and he love Tierra. Whatever. It is what it is. He ain't trying to make no freaking changes. So, anyway. So, after that, Tommy telling KK that she basically done. KK, like I said, is trying to be like, no, you should really talk to him and hear him out or whatever. So, Tommy agrees that she's going to hear him out. Okay, so then we got Jock and Scrappy. They are hosting an event, and Kurt comes up in there, because like I said, he wanted to talk to Scrappy about sending Mama D up to press, Rashida's store to act a damn fool. And so when he gets there or whatever, he see Mama D, he was like, what was that all about? And Scrappy is like, what happened? And so Kirk tells Scrappy how Mama D came up there building nests and talking about laying rotten eggs and all that crap. And so Scrap was like, you did what? Now how many times did I have to tell you to stay out of it? And so Kirk is like, you didn't know? And he was like, no, I didn't know. And so after that gets established, Kirk, is like, well, I heard that you had beef with me. And basically, Scrap is like, my beef was that, you wasn't there for me. You ain't even call me and say, look, I can't come. We got to go handle this business in L.A. He was like, I would have called you even if I couldn't make it. And, Kirk is like, I'm sorry about that. But like I told you, we had Rosewood. We had to jump on the plane. And plus, you already know, Rashida and Erica are friends. It was just a big old mess. And he was like, so you mean to tell me you didn't want to be there for me? And Kirk was being honest. He was like, no. And I don't think he said that Scrap ain't his boy. I think he said that he didn't want to be involved in all that mess. It's a lot of mess that's going on. Like, you got to understand that Rashida and Erica are friends. So, anyway, let's see. Then we got Tammy and D. Smith, Tammy invites D. Smith to her workspace so they could really sit down and discuss business. And basically Tammy basically lets D. Smith know that, hey, I really like your look, and I really want you to, be a part of T. Rivera Fashions or whatever. And she's like, that sounds cool, but before we talk about working together, I wanted to let you know that I've been transitioning for the past year from male to female. And Tammy is like, well, girl, I don't care nothing about that. You look fierce and all that. She was like, well, I'm glad you said that because, I know that Waka made, some comments on his interview. And she was like, yeah, he did. But it's more so like, with all this social media and everybody bringing, Caitlyn Jenner out to the forefront, it makes it difficult to kind of explain things to your children. She was like, I don't think he meant that anything to bash the transgender community. It's just a lot to explain. So, D. Smith is basically like, I hear you, but it's not up to us to explain and to worry about raising your children. It's for you guys to worry about, and you guys to kind of let your children know, or shield them from that, or whatever. And I kind of agree with D. Smith. People in the limelight are not here to be role models. But on the other side of that, once you become a part of the limelight, you do by default become a role model, because people want to be like you. People want to emulate you. So in that case, you do have to watch what you say sometimes and how you present yourself. So anyway, then we get Tommy and Scrap. So, Tommy just sitting there chilling and Scrap banging on the door. And when she finally lets him in, he got, some flowers or whatnot. And, she's like, what do you want? And he's like, man, I just want to apologize. And he was like, I really need you to fix this thing with, Tiara, because she acting a fool. She won't let me see my son. And she like, I don't got nothing to do with that. She came at me and blase spleen, but I do think they're going to end up deciding to talk or whatever. So then the episode is with D. Smith bringing Betty Idol and Tammy together. Betty Idol ain't really feeling it because she feels that, Tammy, is Waka's wife, and, Waka Flocka is, homophobic. And my whole thing about this is, you horrible. You horrible to sit up there and judge Tammy on what her husband thinks. And then you calling her saying she irrelevant and all this other stuff. You deserve whatever she throws back at you. And Tammy, you a good one, because as of right now, you ain't gone off yet. And I'm like, I would have been smacked you in the face. So anyway, y'all, that's the episode. And can't wait for next week. Please do not forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, y'all. Peace and love.